It's Wednesday, November 5th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host, Jace Cooper, alongside my producer, Jacob Gramegna. We have a great show for you today for the next hour. Going to give you a quick rundown. We got Mr. Peanutbettor coming on. He's going to join the show, talk about some college football, kind of go through the Big Ten, ACC, SEC, Big 12, go through the conference, talk a little bit about the playoff rankings that were released, kind of just preview things with only 3-4 weeks left, three or four games left for most teams, preview things, who's going to win the conference, things of that nature. So going to talk through a bunch of that stuff and also talk about some games that are going to be important for those conference odds this week. After that, we got the double back-to-back NBA action coming. We got Pips coming on. He's going to share some NBA player props with you, talk through an SGP, and then we're going to look towards some future markets. Specifically like something in the 6 man of the year market, and we can talk about that when he jumps on. Then finally, Kirk will close out the show. Talk a little bit about I want to get his take, and maybe this is best saved for Circle Back, but I want to get his take on this Fordham NJIT rigging allegations. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, but a lot of people were tweeting about this. The number for the first half of that game was -4.5 Fordham, and I think the money line was like around -360 first half money line. But the full game, the Fordham money line was like -1,000. So like, it's just that pricing is off. People saw that. They said, hey, there might be something wrong here. This game might be rigged. NJIT ends up winning outright. Wins the first half as well. I mean, Fordham shot horribly. They shot like 18% or 15% from three, like 30-ish% from the field, whereas NJIT was shooting 50% from the three and like 60% from the field in the first half. So anyways, it's like a lot of interesting stuff. I was watching that game as well. I don't usually watch college basketball, but I wanted to watch just to see like if players were dogging it and whatnot.
Did it look as bad as
I don't think so.
As you thought?
So there was a couple threes where you like let up and give the guy the three, but it's also like the guy who was nailing a bunch of threes was a freshman. And it seemed like a situation where, and I might be wrong, I don't know. I'm not like the best analyzer of basketball out there of X's and O's, but it seemed like they were just like challenging him to shoot the three, and he was just hitting everything. But it was also interesting because again, NJIT took a ton of money on the first half, and right after the game started, it was announced that their best two players were out. So like, there's a lot of finagling going on there, a lot of interesting stuff. It could have been rigged, could have not been rigged, could have just been Fordham didn't have the best shooting day. And and also like how would you? I'm curious to hear Kirk's take, because how would you approach that? Because I'm sure there were some people out there who saw NJIT take that money and people tweeting about it, saying that game was going to be like, assuming the game was rigged. I'm not saying it was, but like some people would just jump on and take that first half money line and just knowing that like there's a chance that it could be rigged, and it's a reward. So what, like, I'm curious ethically, what would be ethically
it's
wrong?
Shit. I think the game is rigged, I'm going to bet on the team that's supposed to win.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
What, would you not bet on them?
No, I would definitely bet on them, and I wish I did. But yeah.
Well, it depends like how aware you are of the market. Like, is it injury related? That my first thought would be there's an injury that I don't know about, rather than that the game is rigged. So there's no point of getting in on the number after it's moved, because it's into place or closer into place in theory.
Yeah, but the problem is that if you can just understand, like if you understand markets, you saw that the first half was just such a far cry from the full game that there was something
I guess,
interesting going on there. And plus people were tweeting about it. Like imagine you just stumbled this upon your Twitter where, I don't want to say respect, like some people who like seem to know their stuff were saying that there's a chance that this could be rigged. I saw some like FBI tweets out there, like at FBI, investigate, by some people who like I think would decently know their stuff. So I'm just wondering if like some people just saw that, hit it, and whatnot. Anyways, we're going to bring on our first guest, Mr. Peanutbettor, a.k.a. Mike, in just a second. Before we do, just a quick reminder, Edgework Overtime. You saw us there last week. Yesterday. We were so close on hitting our moneyline parlay, even though the money line round robin underdog parlay. Kings lost like 3-0. Kings won 3-0 against, what was it, the Jets, which is whatever. But we almost had the Oilers beat the Stars, and that would have been 3-4 for the second week in a row. But instead, 2-4. So
you lost.
You lost. We were close. One more. It was Edmonton lost in overtime. and they were winning.
That would have made it 3 out of 4.
Three out of 4, yeah. But I round robin it. At least when I bet it, I round. If we're doing underdogs, like we might as well just round robin it. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, reminder: every Tuesday and Thursday, right here, the Hammer Daily. We're gonna have Alex, So Money, Albert, maybe some other special guests on as well, talking through the full NHL board, breaking down each game, and talking, what we like, what we don't like in a given game. So, yeah, it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoy. And we got a great show for you today. Mr. Peanutbettor is late, it seems.
He's here.
As per usual. No, he's late. He also texted me, pulled a flop. Said sorry, I woke up late. Well, hopefully he got some coffee in him, and hopefully he's ready to go for today. He's a college football bettor, college football enjoyer. Doesn't watch the NFL, but he's a regular on Circle Back. Mr. Peanutbettor, how's it going, my friend?
First, I got to stop these slanders that I'm late to the thing. First of all, I was told 12:07 was the official time. I was told if we can go back through, check the text. Beretta, we'll get him on it. That's probably an error on his end. Second of all, I was here by 12:05. Had to sprint up 4 stairs to make sure I made it in time. So you're welcome.
All right, I appreciate that.
Where are you where you need to go up 4 flights of stairs, by the way?
Thought I left my headphones in my car in the parking garage. Turns out I didn't, so going without them anyways. Didn't even get them, but was
so no headphones. So you just ran stairs for some fun, eh?
Yep, trying to get a nice workout in before the show.
Okay. Let's get into the show then. Let's talk about some college football stuff today. You want to talk about some playoff rankings and things like that. Is this like a general topic you wanted to touch on? I didn't really talk us through this. What were you saying when you meant that?
Yeah, so the first rankings came out yesterday. I thought generally they were pretty good. I know some people have problems with it. Basically, whatever they come up with, people are going to have issues with. Basically, what the committee decided is they are going to, in my opinion, it seems like they're going to value teams with a little bit tougher schedules, SEC, Big Ten teams. Kind of got the benefit of the doubt for the most part, I think, with this with these rankings. And I thought, you could maybe nitpick some things. You're always going to be able to nitpick some things, but I think in the aggregate, it was pretty good rankings considering.
All right. Anything that you were kind of shocked by or disagree with in terms of these rankings, or?
No, I will say, if you're just talking resume, it may seem like Texas A&M probably has a better resume than Ohio State and Indiana. I don't think they're as good as those teams, but it does seem like they're kind of going to rely on what has the team done in terms of what quality of team they are, rather than just, their resume, if you look at it, versus top 25 teams, et cetera. So I think that they are kind of valuing whether the team played well or how they look at the team's overall performance more than just, your standard metrics of win-loss.
Okay, all right, sounds good. There's a couple teams over there that I thought maybe could be ranked a little bit higher in terms of win-loss, but like you said, strength of schedule and strength of wins seem to matter here. Virginia, Louisville, 2 teams that are kind of on the bubble. And let's flip over and talk right away this ACC, because I think this is the conference that I've been most fascinated in terms of who's going to win the conference, because I've just been kind of looking at tiebreaker rules, trying to understand it all. Last week was such a disaster. In a good way for bettors in the conference, because Miami loses, Georgia Tech loses, Virginia wins. Standings are very messy. If we look at the odds on FanDuel, Duke plus 240 is the favorite right now to win the ACC. Georgia Tech plus 320, Louisville plus 360, Virginia, who's situated in first with no conference losses, plus 380, SMU 11-1. This board is kind of all over the place. So talk us through what you think what you think about this conference, and if you have any looks or likes on the board right now for any of these teams to win the ACC.
Yeah, this conference is a mess. They actually, if you look at the one team in the conference without a conference loss, they have lost to a team in the conference. So due to some weird scheduling quirks, NC State, Virginia played one another. It didn't count as a conference game. NC State did beat Virginia, but Virginia, because that one was deemed a non-conference loss, doesn't have the loss in the conference, obviously, then kind of to represent that. So even their undefeated team has lost to a team in the conference. So this is a wild division. I think Georgia Tech was between plus 240 to plus 300 to start the week. They lost to an unranked team. Theoretically, you think, oh, wow, that should kill them in the standings, but they're the second favorite to win the conference still, despite that. So, I don't know what's going to happen in this conference. If you look at, like, Virginia is clearly the team with the leg up on everybody with 0 losses. They still play Wake Forest, Duke, and Virginia Tech. They could lose all 3 of those games. I'm not guaranteeing they win any of those. I don't think they'll lose those games, especially after Wake got demolished last week. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. So I think that this conference is really wide open in terms of, I think anyone can beat, basically anyone in this conference. So that leaves a lot of variance here last few weeks.
Yeah, one team that I was looking at, and listen, like I might not, I don't know how to price college football games that well. Like I'm not like a modeler by any sort of that nature. But SMU, I just looked to their path, and I want to get your opinion on this here. They're 4-1. They need to win the Louisville game for any of this to happen. For things to go right for them, they need to win against Louisville. But they have Louisville at home. They close out the season with Boston College and at Boston College at California. If they beat Louisville, though, and they win out, they have a very strong likelihood, based on the tiebreakers that I've been looking at, to make the finals. I think it's we're going to have to see Wake Forest do some, pick up some wins on their schedule for them to miss the playoffs or miss the finals and miss the conference finals. Anyways, right now they're 11-1 at FanDuel to win the ACC. But if you flip over, and I've been looking at the playoff odds as well, they're 15-1 to make the playoffs. That's the same bet. Right, SMU, if they win the conference, they're gonna make playoffs. That's a given. That's how the playoffs works. So, any interest in SMU to like win the conference or whatever, take the playoffs at 15-1, assuming that they're gonna win the conference?
Holy shit! I am looking at, it's like he's learning right in front of my eyes. We're going Jason Cooper recta, Jason Cooper sharp. That's exactly the type of thing you want to do. Look for these, like, for these playoffs. A lot of these models that are pricing playoffs, we don't have a huge data set to go off of, right? So we don't have a bunch of testing that they can do for all these models. So they're going to be a little bit leakier than when you're talking about your standard conference odds to win the conference. So that's a good catch there by you. SMU to make the playoffs. I would suggest anybody, if you're looking to bet conference odds on a conference that is not the Big Ten or SEC, because those are a little bit different bets. If you're looking to bet any of these conference things, look at the playoffs, kind of compare the two and see, is there a chance that they make the playoffs without winning the conference? Everything like that, kind of compare the odds. But yeah, that's a great catch by you. I think that SMU at the playoff odds that you presented is probably a pretty good bet.
All right, love it. Because there is I don't know if there's a small chance for them to even make the playoffs if they don't like the ACC. If they don't win the ACC, but like, hey, there might be like a small chance. But yeah, it just shouldn't be higher than them to win the conference. All right, let's move over and talk Big Ten. Oregon versus Iowa this week. Pretty pivotal game here. Oregon on the road. -6.5, 41.5 point favorites. Any opinion on this game? I know it's not really going to affect the Big Ten finals because it seems like it's going to be Ohio State versus Indiana. But like this game, I think we'll do a lot of jostling for college football playoff rankings. So talk us through this game.
For sure. First, I would say let's not guarantee that it won't have an impact on the Big Ten standings. Everybody would have said that last year, and then Ohio State loses to Michigan. It's still college football. It's still 19, 20-year-olds you're relying on. So you can only have so much certainty. But yes, it looks like that Ohio State, Indiana are kind of set for a Big Ten matchup. They are going to be double-digit favorites in the remainder of their games, I would guess. And this is basically kind of Iowa's chance to get in the playoffs. Iowa is very slowly turned into a playoff contender. They've been really good in the second half of their year. Their offense has really turned it around from what they were at the beginning of the season. It looked like their transfer in from the FCS level wasn't kind of able to play at the FBS, but he's been much better as of late. And, sneakily, they've kind of worked their way up the rankings to 20th. If they beat Oregon, they probably, I don't know if they're in at that point, but certainly if they go undefeated the remainder of the schedule, I would expect them to get in. Oregon has at Iowa. That won't be a easy game. They have versus USC at home, and then they have to go to Washington. That's a hell of a remaining schedule for Oregon. And, but this one here, basically, if they are able to beat Iowa, they'll set themselves up. I think they probably would be given a chance with a third loss if they had one there. So this is pretty pivotal matchup for both of them and their chances to get in.
Yeah, I think that critical game, Oregon at USC, is going to be massive for USC. I'm still holding on hope that they can make the conference finals here, USC. But anyways, let's talk about Ohio State against Indiana, which we project to be most likely the title game here. How do you price that? What would you make a number on that game if you were forced to right now? Let's assume Ohio State's at home, because I think that's where they are right now in the rankings.
So it will be a neutral game. They'll play at Indiana. But I would expect, even with it being in Indianapolis, I would say that the fans are probably going to be closer to 50-50.
Okay.
I won't expect any kind of home field advantage for Indiana there. Right now, without running everything, I would most likely make it between 3-7. Ohio State is a favorite. Indiana's a legit team. This isn't like last season where I think Indiana didn't really have the horses to compete with the big dogs. You saw when they played Ohio State actually late in the season, Kirk Cignetti, for all his bluster, kind of turtled up and kind of played to not get blown out at the end of the game. He was, milking clock a little bit late. He clearly knew that he didn't have the team that was able to compete. This year's team is very different, both along the lines, and they have some playmakers on the outside. I think that, basically this year's Indiana team would beat last year's by over a touchdown. I think that Indiana is a real competitor with Ohio State, and kind of that matchup moving forward will probably be big for both. It will probably be a competition for the number one seed in the playoffs.
All right. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. And you want to get that number one seed, of course. Just home field advantage be helpful along the way. Anyways, let's move over to talk SEC. Alabama right now is the odds-on favorite to win the conference, plus 115. A&M, plus 210. Then we have a steep drop-off. Georgia's at plus 500. And then I think everyone else is pretty much out of the picture, unless we see something crazy happen here. What do you make of Alabama kind of pulling away here? Do you think they'll be able to pull away and win this conference? Do you think Texas A&M can flip them and be the one seed here? What are your thoughts on this?
Sure. So Texas A&M undefeated. It doesn't feel like they've kind of gotten the love of an undefeated SEC team this late in the season. Not only are they an undefeated SEC team, they also went to Notre Dame, who's a top 10 team in the country, and beat them at their house. So certainly Texas A&M doesn't have, with these larger conferences, you kind of get more different schedule within the conference, different quality of schedules, because there's so many teams in the conference. It's a little bit more variance from team to team. So they haven't played the toughest SEC schedule, but it's still an SEC schedule with an additional top 10 opponent on the road. They're undefeated. I think you could clearly make the case that they're the number one deserving teams in terms of a resume in the college football standings. But I still think that Alabama, kind of, if you ask most people, they would put them a step ahead in terms of just a quality opponent. And probably that's why they're sitting at the favorite, that along with a relatively easy schedule to end it. So both these teams, if they kind of play up to their capability, should meet in the SEC finals. I think both these teams are pretty similar in terms of quality, but Alabama is just currently, for me at least, a little bit higher in terms of a more complete team.
Yeah, Texas Tech remaining schedule is as follows. They're at Missouri, home to South Carolina, home to Stanford, then at Texas, and then, of course, Alabama at home to LSU, at home to Oklahoma, at home to Eastern Illinois, and then on the road against Auburn. So, yeah, pretty easy schedules, easier for Alabama. But, yeah, pretty easy schedules to close out the season for both those teams. Let's flip over and talk you're a pretty popular guy. Hey, let's flip over and talk Big 12. BYU at Texas Tech this week. Pretty important game for BYU, of course. Texas Tech, though, like pretty big favorites here, minus 10.5 on the spread, 52.5 total. Behind, it seems like Texas Tech is a lock to make the conference finals, but behind Texas Tech, it's kind of a mess here. Talk us through this BYU game and who you think has a chance to be the second team in the Big 12 conference finals.
Well, important note for the Texas A&M schedule, Samford is not a SEC opponent, so a loss there, if they're able to lose that, they still would be in good position.
Yes, yeah.
I know a lot of people were worried about that. But Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12 to me by a decent margin. BYU, I have been down on them all year, and all they do is keep winning. So they're going to be a double-digit dog to Texas Tech here. They have a very tough schedule. See, this is why I'm trying to get my headphones so I could get this message behind me quiet. But they are going to be – they have 3 tough games to end their season, BYU does, with Texas Tech. Then they have to play Cincinnati or TCU. Then they have to go to Cincinnati. And then Central Florida at the end of the season should be a relatively easy one. But I think that BYU's schedule is pretty tough from here on out. You could see a number of teams, even a 2-loss team from the Big 12 make it. It's really going to be I don't think any team in this conference is safe to win any game, and they still have 4 games remaining. So I think it's basically going to be – I wouldn't rule out any team, even if they have 2 losses at this point in the season.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that BYU-Cincinnati game is going to be pretty important because Cincinnati could flip BYU. Assuming BYU loses to Texas Tech, this week, we could see a little flippening there with Cincinnati being a 5-1 team. And I believe they beat by BYU, and it's only a 2-way tie. They would have the tiebreaker over BYU. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff down the stretch. You're going to want to keep an eye on these things, keep an eye on schedules, keep an eye on these top teams in the conference to kind of like see where, hey, maybe these numbers might be a little bit wrong. Let's do let's talk some small conferences here. Anything you like in the Conference USA, Mountain West, Sun, anything you like here in terms of conference championship winner or anything like that? Kind of give you the floor right now.
Well, MACtion season has started, so there's a couple good games. We had a pivotal MAC standings game last night with Ohio able to eke out a win versus Miami, Ohio. My Redhawks, big fan of them. So unfortunate for them, they weren't able to pull that one away. But the Mountain West is really wide open now with Madsen going down for Boise State. The favorites right now are San Diego State. They were above 30-1 to win the conference at the beginning of the season. Fresno State hasn't lived up to expectations. Hawaii is actually, they've kind of been a surprise team this season. So I think that the Mountain West, with the injury to Madsen for Boise State, their starting quarterback, really makes the entire conference wide open. And there's a couple of teams you wouldn't have expected to see at the beginning of the year. Teams like New Mexico, Utah State, competing for that conference.
All right. I love that stuff there. Let's finally close out with Heisman odds. Kind of seen a big separation. Julian Sayin plus 150 right now. Mendoza plus 240. Ty Simpson plus 390. Marcel Reed plus 650. It seems just like a relative reflection of the national championship odds, essentially. Anyone you like in this conversation, and do you think anyone outside of these big four, we'll call them the big four, has a chance to potentially win?
I think that right now, if you think Indiana has a chance to beat Ohio State, Mendoza's an interesting ticket.
Okay.
If you think that Ohio State is going to destroy Indiana, Sayin is the pretty obvious candidate, and to me should probably be odds on almost when you start to consider it. He already has the lead. There aren't many remaining games that could give him a loss. The only thing that could trip him up is if Ohio State were upset during that time, likely by Michigan. It would be a tough sell for him. But if you think Ohio State has a big advantage over Indiana, they're not going to give it to the guy who just lost in the Big Ten championship game over a competing person. There is, a chance they both play terrible and they give it to an SEC team, I guess. But I really think that it's going to be the winner of Ohio State, Indiana. I think Ohio State is more of a favorite than what Sayin is over Mendoza. So I would probably go with the boring chalk answer of Sayin right now.
All right, Sayin plus 150. I think you're right. It's almost like a derivative of the conference championship odds for the Big Ten. Not a direct derivative, but yeah. So maybe if you like Ohio State to win the whole thing, then you should take them at plus 150. Anyways, Mike, appreciate you joining the show. I'll let you go because I know you're busy right now. You're getting your phone blown up. But yeah, anyways.
NBA, college football, it's all happening right now. So. All
right, fire away. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
See ya.
All right, awesome stuff there from Mike, a.k.a. Mr. Peanutbettor. Before we get into our next guest, before we bring on Pips, I see you guys in the chat wanting Pips to come up, but just give us a second here because hockey's back. And FanDuel's giving you a shot at boosted winnings when you make a bet on all the action on the rink, because right now all customers have a chance to score big with a 50% profit boost. Just make your pick, apply the boost, and if it hits, you'll get extra winnings at no extra cost. And with FanDuel, you can bet on goal scores, assists, points, saves, and so much more. Plus, you'll get paid your winnings instantly. Ready to play? Ready to play your game? Just visit FanDuel.com/forward progress to get in on the action. That's FanDuel.com/forward progress to claim your 50% profit boost. You can score big on your next hockey bet with FanDuel, an official partner of the NHL. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, 19 plus and present physically located in Ontario, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/John, Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In New York, call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. All right. Up next, he's an NBA props originator, co-founder of Props Madness. Pips, how's it going, my friend?
Hey guys, going great. Enjoying the season so far. Getting great results so far. Don't sleep great so far. So all everything as usual.
It's busy season in the NBA. I mean, we're 7-8 games into the season. Any big takeaways that kind of separate from last week? Anything massive that you're looking at that you're shocked at? Whether it be the Bulls? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, not much. I mean, Bulls definitely being in a weird spot, but as I said, obviously that won't last. That's not any hot take. Teams are just missing wide open shots against them, and even though I do like their energy, their team ball, kind of some like well spread offense and very quick movements, but other than that, nothing crazy. Nets still haven't won a game. Pelicans won their first game, but it just took opposing team to miss their two best players. So yeah, Thunder cruising even without half their team most of the games. So yeah.
All right. They're cruising. Let's talk over and I want to get with this to you. Let's talk about the scoring environment, because last week we talked a little bit about that, how we've seen totals kind of go up, get pushed up from a few points from last season. We kind of saw that for the first couple games. Totals are going up. They're kind of leveled out now. Do you think that this will hold, this will maintain, or do you think that there's like some factors that might make this go down? Like I know you talked about they're reffing games a little bit differently, and that's like contributing to the increase in scoring. Do you think that will change at all this season, or is this just kind of guesswork right now?
At this point, I think now, as I said a couple of times, now I can see the lines are kind of well adjusted. Like obviously openers moved,
of course,
up and down by still huge numbers, but now they are not moving only up. Recently, they were just moving up. Almost every game just moved up. Now they are moving up and down probably like equally. So I think they are right there where they should be, mostly on average. But as the season goes, I definitely see them going slightly bit down, as we are known for like famous January stuff when players get tired and production and efficiency goes down as players got busy schedule, tired legs. So yeah, I think only down from here, but not by much.
Yeah, makes perfect sense, because I know in the NHL especially, sometimes when it doesn't really affect scoring too much, but sometimes they make an emphasis to call certain penalties. They do it for like the first 10, 15 games of the season, and then they just stop doing it for the rest of the season. So anyways, I thought maybe that might be the case here. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's get into the props for today. You want to start with Julian Champagny. Talk us through this bet you have here for him.
Yeah, so we are betting Julian Champagny over on threes. Interesting spot, interesting take. But Julian Champagny scores 50% of his points from the left corner. That's something very like PJ Tucker kind of stuff we've seen in the recent history. So yeah, something unusual for the NBA this season. And fun thing, tonight's matchup, Lakers give up third most left corner threes. So he scores 51% in the left corner, but only 9% in the right corner, which is absolutely amazing. He also last season scored 15% in the left and 10% in the right. So he's kind of holding of his corner. But the most important thing for this one is like the matchup. Lakers give up third most spot up, and he scores almost all of his points from the spot up or transition. So they don't have any big bodies, and like guys that can hold against Wemby one-on-one. So I expect some weird coverages on Wemby doubles, and then swing hitting the corner guy, and that will be Julian Champagny. The guy couldn't miss before the start of the season. Like in preseason, he was like 60% from the three, and now since the season started, he kind of regressed, missed some threes, but the matchups were not great. He only played mostly against teams that don't allow many threes. So yeah, now finally in a great matchup. Last season, with 30 minutes average, he covered this in like 65% of the games when Wemby, Castle, and Vassell played. So great matchup. I expect a good defensive scheme for his threes, and with Harper going down with injury and some other injuries on the Spurs, he should be getting close to 30 minutes. So I really like this stuff.
All right, a lot of playing time. Good from the corner. Lakers weak from the corner. Sorry, that left corner. Julian Champagny. We're good to minus 25. What number are we good to?
Yeah, minus 125, but plenty of those in the market. Yeah,
plenty of that available. Champagny over 1.5 threes. You're gonna want to bet that. Let's flip over and talk Brooklyn and Indiana. Nets at Pacers. You like Cam Thomas for your next prop. We're gonna get one more prop, and then we're gonna get into an SGP.
Yeah.
Talk us through Cam Thomas here and why you like his points.
So Cam Thomas, I think he just moved 10 cents before I just started talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, minus 130, that's the lowest I will play. I will definitely play over 24.5, minus 105 as well. And there are a couple of spots with minus 110, minus 115. So check those as well. So yeah, overall, absolutely smash spot for Cam Thomas, who is very well known for huge shooting volumes. So far this season, he played not in the great matchups. I would say tough matchups for him. And then, like when you look at the average, he's averaging 24.4 points on the season. 2 big blowouts. Not a single matchup that was favorable to him. He faced Cleveland Cavaliers, difficult matchup. Spurs, Wemby inside. Houston Rockets, huge blowout. Then Dyson Daniels of Hawks. Then played kind of good matchup against the 76ers, scored 29. And the last game scored 25 against Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. Kind of different. So was in tough spots. Now getting prime time against Indiana Pacers, who allows a ton of free throws, a ton of pick and roll ball handler points, a ton of pull-ups, and a ton of mid-range where he scores 50% of his points. Usage been through the roof. If we ignore the games against the Houston, huge blowout, double team the entire game. He averaged 29.4 on the season. And those were not as good matchup as the one today. So 23 should be a smart spot. Pacers missing like 6 key rotational players. Should be a close game somehow. So yeah.
All right, 23.5 minus 125, and then 24.5. You said minus 105 is good as well. Unfortunately, steamed a little bit. There is a minus 106 out there. Oh no, it just moved. Never mind. Well, hopefully you guys were able to pick some of that up because there's a 23.5 minus 106 that literally just moved as I started speaking there. Anyways, just to recap that is Cam Thomas over points. We're looking for 23.5 minus 125-ish, and if you don't have that, we're looking 24.5 minus 105. And then Julian Champagny over 1.5 3-point field goals at over 1.5 at minus 125 is the number we're looking for. Let's move on. Let's push along to the SGP. We're going to stick with this Nets and Pacers game. Build it up for us here. Yeah.
So for this one, we are currently betting into Isaiah Jackson. So I'm taking his points and rebounds, but together in a same game parlay. So far this season, he kind of with topping going down played huge minutes. Last 3 games, he was 27, 21, and 29. So kind of 25 minutes average over the last 3 games. And I expect him in that range, like 22 to 28 tonight. And this roster is like missing so many players that he could have massive usage. And last 2 seasons when he played 20 to 28 minutes, he had 10 plus in 80% of the games. Didn't cover against Orlando and Hawks recently, but those were different matchup than the one today. And he had 6 plus rebounds he averaged like 7 rebounds in those games. So yeah, I really like him tonight. Watching the Nets recently, heavy pressure on ball handlers. Like no matter what, they just put the pressure. So I think they will double team Siakam a ton, and then that will open up a lot from cutting, rollmans and stuff for Isaiah Jackson. He was amazing last 3 games. As I said, 8 plus rebounds, all 3 against Hawks, Golden State, and the Bucks. Scored 21 points against the Bucks in the last game. Just great game. Looking at the matchup again back, we had Gobert with 15 points against the Nets, Jarrett Allen with 22, and as well Gobert. Going back to the rebounding as well, he had so many offensive rebounds and putbacks. It was actually amazing. Claxton, big frame there. So yeah. And the last part about this bet is 15 plus on Aaron Nesmith. Tremendous usage. Last couple of games I was on him back-to-back games, like against the Golden State Warriors and against the Bucks. And now he scores most of his points in transition and in spot up. Nets are ranked the dead last in transition defense and second last in spot up. As I said, so much pressure on the Siakam will open up a ton for Nesmith and Isaiah Jackson, and I like them combined. Doing this in a same game parlay way because I will already have Cam Thomas over. So yeah, not risk too much on this game. Like we don't want to take 3 to 4 overs on a game that could be easily a blowout.
Okay, yeah. Looking at it right now, parlayed on FanDuel, you can get plus 272 on Isaiah Jackson to score 10 plus points, Aaron Nesmith to score 15 plus points, and then Isaiah Jackson as well to record 6 plus rebounds combined altogether. Like I said, plus 272. You can find that over on FanDuel. Great stuff there. And then let's close it out with you quickly wanted to talk about some futures. Anything you like in terms of the most improved player market, which I feel like has kind of, I mean, just looking at the odds, it's pretty wide open field. And then also 6 man of the year. Anything you like there in terms of futures?
So I need to take some shit on here for previously talking so much shit on Josh Giddey, who has been amazing so far this season and is leading the most improved race. I know Jacob will be laughing right now because we had talked about him so much.
For sure.
Yeah. I've said so much poor stuff about him recent years, and he's looking really good this season. Can't say anything bad about him now. So just giving him props. He's leading the Rookie of the Year, most improved player this season by being plus 220. Though I do like some Danny Avdija at plus 1100, but think it's probably fair on there. And on the 6 man of the year, I kind of like some numbers on Jeremy Grant at plus 850 to 950. It's probably obviously like more 950 than 850 because AJ Mitchell is the favorites are AJ Mitchell, Jeremy Grant, and Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes will obviously lose some numbers with guys getting back to the team. Like Embiid will start playing more minutes. They have McCain back. Paul George will be soon back, so his numbers will probably drop. On the other side, AJ Mitchell will definitely lose minutes moving forward. Now Isaiah Joe back. Caruso is playing. Chet Holmgren is back. And we are just waiting for J-Dub to be back. Aaron Wiggins is also having a huge offensive load. So looking at the numbers now, I do expect AJ Mitchell and Quentin Grimes to lose some minutes and lose some numbers. And Jeremy Grant, even though he's insanely efficient, I think he'll maintain some. Like I can see him finishing with 18 points average. And Portland probably fighting for the playoffs. So I think he at this price should be should have some value.
All right, Jeremy Grant plus 850. Seems like Pips, you like him for 6th man of the year. We'll never give you shit for stating your opinions. It's okay. Sometimes we're wrong, right? Sometimes we're right. Sometimes we're wrong. So we'll definitely praise you when you're right. We're not going to give you shit when you're wrong. It's okay. You took a swing. It happens. Pips, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat again on Friday.
Yep.
Awesome stuff.
We should recap our winners.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We should recap last week. Because it was, let's talk this through. Evan Mobley over 3.5 assists, minus 136 at FanDuel was unfortunately the one loser. But the SGP.
I would say one thing about Mobley. He had 3 assists and 13 potential assists. It was unbelievable to watch the entire game. Them missing laps and wide open threes on his assist. But with so many guys out, he was passing to idiots most of the time. So some of these misses were horrible. Nance missed 2 layups. Crazy stuff. The
other one we won. Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy was easy one.
Yeah.
Trey was easy one.
And then Jermaine Johnson, Kristaps Porzingis, and Pascal Siakam. Sorry.
Can you repeat?
Did I say Jermaine Johnson? I got football on my mind. That's sorry. That's it's a linebacker on the Jets. Jalen Johnson 20+ points, Porzingis 15+ points, and Siakam 4+.
We almost lost that one.
Really?
What
was the?
I had sent 20 to plus 20.5, and you said like,
yes,
play 20.5 over, and it was the better number by a few cents. So we adjusted, and then he ended up being at 20, missing like some stupid mid-range late into the game. And I was like, damn, we're going to get hooked here. And then he made a transition layup like 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
So, we covered with 2 additional points. Yeah.
Thanks for shout out to the NBA Cup, right? Because I think that's why they left them in.
Porzingis covered without playing 4 quarter minutes. That's always nice.
All right, good recap. We'll make sure to do that next show as well. We're up from last show. So, anyways, Pips, appreciate you joining us.
3 straight profit.
3 straight. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. See ya.
Awesome stuff there from Pips. All right, up next we got Kirk Evans, but we're gonna make him wait a little bit because maybe he's late too. I don't know. Everyone just.
Nah, he's been waiting.
Oh, okay. All right. Well. Anyways, before we bring on Kirk, just want to remind you guys about our newsletter. Perfect time to plug the newsletter because Kirk writes on the Fridays, giving out his, just stuff that he's seen as a bettor. Maybe things that have changed his mind, changed his opinions, or just shapes the way he thinks about betting. Could be writing about that. Could be just writing about markets. His opinion on the NBA. Writes about a lot of different stuff on the Friday. You saw there on the screen the Monday newsletter. Wednesday newsletter, though, which comes out later today. Interesting stuff there because we have a plus EV prop coming from our boys at BetStamp. And we also have early practice reports. So Wednesday in the NFL, practice reports come out. So it takes a lot of time to sift through those. Guess what? We have it compiled all in one place for you right on the newsletter. So you're going to want to sign up. We get it around 5 p.m. Eastern time in your inbox. So you can react to news accordingly. Anyways, Kirk Evans time. It's time to bring him up. He's a seasoned NBA bettor. You've seen him on Circle Back. And we're going to see, we're going to understand a little bit more about his ethics when we get into the first question here. Kirk, just give me a sec here. Give me a sec here. Just, we're going to bring you on. It's all good. It's all good. Just got to get you to load in here for a second. There we go. There you are.
How we doing? Is it my Wi-Fi not good?
No, your Wi-Fi's fine. It just that was on our end. It just took a second for you to load in here to OBS. You new space. You look you don't look like you're 4'2".
A new apartment, just moved in. No banging so far, which is good.
Okay, well, no hammering or banging.
I'm moving. Get a good deal in Toronto.
Better than my last place.
Okay.
So it's not great, but not horrible.
All right. Sounds good. Hopefully you're enjoying the new place. Let's get into things right now. First thing I want to talk about those, because when you're an NBA guy. Go ahead.
I actually want to interrupt you because as usual in this show, something you said in the last segment I thought was egregious, so I just want to call you out.
Was it the Jermaine Johnson thing? Sorry, I just have NFL on my
No. I'm one to mistake names. I wouldn't criticize you for that. You look at the most improved market, you say it's wide open. Josh Giddey is an obvious favorite. That's not what wide open is. He's plus 320, and the next closest is like 10-1. Josh Giddey's my biggest award bet of the season. I don't like you giving propaganda that it's a wide open market. There's a heavy favorite, and then there's everyone else.
Okay, fair. Yeah, you can criticize me for that. I'll allow that. Josh Giddey is plus 320. The next closest is 11-1. But there's so much time left in the season, and like, I feel like
I'm not saying he's a guarantee to win, but I
sounds
just,
like you are.
To me, wide open is like, a big group around 10-1 where no one's a clear favorite. He's the clear favorite, and everyone should know that. And he's been unbelievable.
Okay, you're taking away from my propaganda to spread your Josh Giddey propaganda. You're just a big propaganda guy, and I guess I also should have mentioned you're like a political bettor as well, because you're just super sharp in that stuff. That might be your sharpest sport or whatever. Topic.
My sharpest sport is politics.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's talk a little bit about college basketball though, because before we get into the NBA here, because we saw on Twitter, this is more of a circle back topic, but I want to get your opinion. It's midweek. We're not going to get a word on this until Friday. Fordham versus NJIT. We saw like a big, very large discrepancy between the first half number and the full game number. Fordham was just like, I think only 4.5 point favorites in the first half, like minus 300-ish on the first half money line. And then I don't have the exact spread for the full game, but I think it was like closer to 10.5, 11.5, and they were like minus 900, minus 1,000 on the money line there. NJIT ends up winning outright. We find out at 7:03, game starts at 7 o'clock, that two of NJIT's best players are out. So this wasn't like, don't think this was an injury-related thing. A lot of people are wondering, was this rigged? Was it not? What's your opinion on it? It's hard to say if it actually was. And then also, ethically, if you see this on Twitter and you think that there's a good, if someone alerts you to this and say, there's a good chance that this game might be rigged, would you ever bet on it? Do you think betting on it is worth it? Just want to get your opinion on this whole situation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's. So I'm not a college basketball bettor, so I don't quite know the ins and outs, but I have the line pulled up right now, and it does look just entirely egregious that the first half spread was -4 and the closing spread was -15, and then they lost outright.
Yeah.
So, if it's not that the game was rigged, coming up with another explanation is kind of tough. Look, betting it makes sense, right? Because you see a line that's just so clearly egregious that, like, it almost doesn't matter what the line actually is, because if it's rigged, it's whatever 90-95% proposition. Obviously, you don't know it's rigged, but also at the same time, do you want to have a large bet on a recreational book when Cash Patel comes and knocks on everyone's door? So I typically avoid that stuff.
Okay.
I had thought that Jonte Porter, when that was all happening, something weird was going on, just because I kept seeing how quickly he was checking out of games, and we're very locked in on injury stuff in the NBA, so we could see that it was extremely odd what was happening there. And I was like, I just don't want to bet this. Like, I don't want to have a big bet on a Jonte Porter SGP when he gets arrested, even though obviously I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know factually, but you can put the pieces together. It's pretty obvious. But at the same time, I don't really want that on my account. It just looks bad, even if you're not involved. So I typically try staying away. But at the same time, I definitely can see why someone would bet that, just looking at the screen thinking, like, if a game is rigged, it's doesn't even matter what the line is. So, was obviously a very good bet looking back, probably because the Fordham players had rigged it. I don't know that for sure, but I just can't imagine an explanation for the first half line to have such a discrepancy. And also it's a bit of a weird strategy to I get you want to rig the first half, and then the Fordham players are like, okay, we could just win in the second half, which they ended up not doing. Yeah. But I saw this on Twitter today, like even very plugged in people, that does not seem like a line that you're going to be able to pile on. So I don't know. Whoever did this seems pretty fucking stupid, if I'm being honest. So yeah, it's just every day there's a new fucking story with this, and I hate it. So
it's interesting. Listen, like we don't know for sure if it was rigged or not. The odds don't pass the smell test whatsoever. But I will say, like, Fordham did shoot 16% from the three, and they shot 24. They're 4 for 24 from the three. So was that them purposely missing? Maybe. Or they just could have went cold. Like on the other hand, NJIT was 54%, 12 of 22 from three, which it's pretty hard to lose when you're that hot from three. So
yeah, well, it's easy to miss threes when you don't want them to go in.
That's true. It's hard to make rig it to make the three. Anyways,
yes, that's true as well. You can play bad D, but even still, 54% from three is really good. But they were 15-point favorites. They lost by 11. Exactly. That's a pretty significant loss.
Yeah, pretty egregious. Anyways, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, opinions on that. So you wouldn't be clicking, but I'm just curious how many people out there just saw this on Twitter, because this is more of a story now. I saw so many people tweeting at FBI with the picture of this game. If you're a tapped in college basketball bettor, maybe you're a casual though, and you see that. I wonder how many people just squares or just people who just enjoy college basketball just ran to bet it. Anyways, off the thought that it might be rigged. Anyways, let's talk about a couple more things here in the NBA, and then we'll get into some props. There was a tweet from Raheem Palmer talking about injury-related CLV. He says, injury-related CLV continues to be a dumpster fire in the NBA. Can't even imagine how I'd feel if I had the Blazers -3 tonight. This was, I think, 2 days ago. You get the -3 on a game that closes -10, and you never even have a chance at all. Better off buying back for a chance at a middle. And he continues to say, beating NBA side seems like a downright ridiculous endeavor. Is this injury-related CLV kind of signal? Is this noise? When I see something like this, and if I were to assume it's signal, does this mean that maybe the shooting talent of the NBA, the floor of it has increased for worse players? What do you think is going on here?
So yeah, this is the most common Twitter topic, I think, of the last few years. I don't track specific injury-related CLV. I probably should. A few years ago, we looked at it when it was a massive talking point. Everyone was kind of talking about how all these injury games lost, and we found the results were not nearly as dramatic as people were saying. So far this year, it's absolutely been a dumpster fire. If you're quick clicking, I was on Portland last night. I bet it after, the line had come back. The line came back 6.5. It just was not adjusted enough for Luka and Reeves to be out. It closed 9.5, and it was an outright loser. But yeah, I don't think it's a shooting thing. I do think that the floor of the NBA talent has really increased, and I do think there probably is something to when you have your best player out for one game. The NBA is such a grind that having guys play really high effort when they're in a new role probably has some truth to it. Mm-hmm. Maybe they over adjust a little bit, the Giannis game as well. Milwaukee played the Warriors. Giannis surprise rule out maybe an hour before tip. Line goes from 2.5 to 8.5 or something like that, and Warriors lose outright as well. So those are the two by far the biggest so far this year, and both have been outright losers. So yeah, there maybe is something a little bit to it. Maybe these lines over adjust a little bit, but also at the same time, if you're betting if there was really something to it, someone in the market would have some big belief and would heavily buy back, and that's not really what you see here. So I don't look at it as a huge deal, and I definitely don't agree with Raheem about betting NBA sides. Seems like a dumpster fire. I feel like that's more of just there's a lot of variance, but realistically, if there's a lot of variance, you don't want no variance in the sport. You want a lot of variance in the sport that you're betting. So it can be frustrating. There's no doubt I was on the wrong side of both of those bets. But at the same time, if you got the best number, you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. That makes perfect sense there. I just wanted to ask because, saw it as a topic on Twitter yesterday. So let's get into some props. You have a couple of props here. I hope we're probably going to go over time. I hope you're okay with that. You're not a busy guy anyways. You're fine with that. Let's talk about, let's see, the first prop you have here is in the Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers game. You want to look at Ben Shepherd's points. You want to look towards his overs. So it's minus 104 at FanDuel, 7.5 points over for Ben Shepherd. Talk us through it.
Yeah. Indiana is just so injured right now. Ben Shepherd's seen a bit of a minutes reduction over the last few games with Quinn and Jackson starting in front of him. Quinn Jackson is now also out tonight. Johnny Furphy is also out tonight. Ben Shepherd's just a trusted guy in this lineup. I expect him to see a huge minute bump with these additional injuries. He's not a great scorer by any means, but also this is like a 7-point spread. Indiana should, it's not huge blowout potential. Indiana maybe has a bit of blowout potential here, but they just have so few rotation players that I have his minutes pretty substantially bumped from the last few games. And, if he's playing 27, 28 minutes, I just think 7.5 points at whatever, minus 104 it is now. I'd play it to minus 110 is just too low.
Yeah, minus 104 over at FanDuel. Let's flip over and talk. We're going to talk Timberwolves and Knicks. You're looking at my Italian brethren, Dante DiVincenzo. Are you Italian, by the way?
No.
Oh. What font of European/white are you? If you don't have to share.
we don't need to get into
Okay. All right.
what font of European/white I am.
Go ahead.
Dante, I played Dante DiVincenzo under points. I think the market is pretty aware that Ant is going to play, but I think Ant is one of these guys who, when he comes back, plays very full. And obviously, DiVincenzo is the biggest, he has the most downside from Ant coming back. Ant is such a high usage guy, such a high scorer. I just don't think that this is quite adjusted enough. I think it's fair as 12.5. I think when Ant gets ruled in, he'll end up moving to 12.5. They also now have a lot more depth. I think DiVincenzo will go from 32, 33 minutes to more in the 27, 28 range like he was at the start of the year. So this is just a bit high to me.
All right, yeah, minus 125 towards the under over at FanDuel at the 13.5. But you can shop that around. I see. What would you take that at 12.05? Are you looking at 12.05 plus 100? What would you need there at the 12.5?
12.05. You were confusing me.
12.5. Sorry, 12.5. 12.5 at minus 105 or plus 100. That's what I meant to say. Listen, I'm on.
Yeah. 12.5 at plus 100 is fine.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to see for the people in case they're watching after the fact and it's moved. I just wanted to give a good 2 number there. Sorry about that. I'm a little loopy. I'm at 36 hours, no food. I'm doing a 72-hour water fast, so we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you ever done that before? No. Yeah, I am.
Yeah. That's a crazy thing to say with 2 minutes left in the hour. No, I've never done that before.
All right, maybe you should try. I feel great. I feel excellent.
I do like a fast. That's a bit long for me, though.
Yeah.
That's 3 fucking days.
That's how it works. Anyways, you sleep for most of the time anyways, or a lot of the time. I don't sleep for most of the time. But yeah, anyways, Kirk, appreciate you joining the show. We'll see you. Are you on again this week or no? We're going to see you on Monday on Circle Back.
Monday, Circle Back.
Okay, maybe we won't close the door on me this time. Anyways.
That wasn't me. That was Chad.
Don't throw him under the bus. You told him to. Anyways, Kirk, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Later, guys.
All right, awesome stuff there. Yeah, you guys know what to do. Follow Kirk on Twitter. Link in the description down below. Follow Pips on Twitter. Follow Mr. Peanutbettor on Twitter. Links down below. Pips said he did the 72-hour fast. It was tough the first 24. It's easy after. Yeah, I agree. I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday for the first 12 hours. Is this a crazy thing to do, by the way?
I don't think I'll ever do that.
Why?
Because I don't want to. I like to eat.
I like to eat
what's
too.
What's the purpose of it? Just out of curiosity, why are you doing it?
Honestly, it's partially a mental thing. Just wanted to see my mental fortitude if it could hold up, and I think I've done pretty good with that factor. Also, Monday night, honestly, after our watch along, I didn't eat basically all day, so I'm starving. So I went to get food, and I'm honestly my eating schedule is so out of whack from these watch alongs. I'm like, I need to find a way to like readjust things. So like, I'm just like, you know what?
Meal prep.
Yeah, meal prep.
You gotta do more meal prep.
But what I ate late at night on the Monday. I came in Tuesday morning, and it was like 4 or 5 o'clock, and I'm like, I haven't eaten yet. I'm like, you know what? Like, I might as well just keep going, and then like I'll readjust everything and use this as like a rebalancing point. So, yeah.
I think there are better ways to test your mental fortitude than not eating, but that's just me. I'm a very big food enjoyer.
Trust me, I'm a food enjoyer too. So, yeah, I also makes you appreciate food more. So like, think about how much more.
I fucking appreciate the food. Don't worry. I eat super clean. I really appreciate when I get a cheat meal in or whatever.
All right. Let's see what's up next at the Hammer here. Enough about my 72-hour fast. Chat's agreeing with me. Everyone's saying it's good for you. So
not Giovanni. Why? He says, but also why?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Giovanni's a friend of the show. I listen to him, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how I last tomorrow. I'm gonna have a great meal. I don't even know if it might be longer than 72 hours because it's gonna be at like midnight for me on Thursday. Would be my 72nd hour.
The only reason I could see myself doing this is if I need to like fit in a suit or something for like a wedding or whatever.
Don't have any weddings coming up within the next couple of months, so it's not for that. It's just, I don't know. I just wanted to do it.
So how many hours are you in?
It's like 36, like just over 36 hours.
I haven't eaten since 9 a.m. this morning, and I'm fucking starving right now.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I think the worst part for me is I have so many like food TikToks and Instagram reels in my algorithm. Yeah. It's like, I can't scroll. So like it helps me. Like it helps me. Like I'm scrolling less. Yeah. You know what, Pips? I'll do 73 for you. I'll find the exact time I ate on Thursday night. And yeah. Anyways, appreciate you guys. What do we have up next? We have
right now.
Circles off. We have an educational video. General betting education.
Yeah, general betting education. Essentially, Rob goes through some of the most common pieces of advice that you hear in the sports betting industry and talks about how sometimes that advice is not for everyone. It's not a one-size-fits-all. And perhaps there's reasons to ignore that type of basic advice.
All right. Love that. And then also, you promised me that next week you're going to be doing, or Rob promised me that next week he's going to be doing a video on some Survivor stuff. So hopefully we can get that.
I didn't promise
you didn't promise anything. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, head over to the Circles Off YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And you know what? Before you do that, do the same thing here. And before you subscribe, like the video. It goes a long way for us here on the channel. Yeah, subscribe, ring notification bells. We're live Monday to Friday, noon Eastern time. Tomorrow, we got Hitman coming on to talk Thursday night football game. It's Raiders Broncos.
Awesome.
Should be fun. Should be a slog. Well, I don't know, man. The Broncos have just been playing their way into like
Geno versus
incredibly
Bo
exciting games.
I can't wait.
Horrible matchup. But yeah, Hitman will be on. Edric overtime. Got a great cast of characters for you tomorrow, so you better be there. All right, this has been the November 5th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.